Sometimes there are things that show up at just the right time that really resonate, that are something that either your mind or your heart needs to hear. And it might be a Facebook post, it might be a message from a friend. For me today, it was a video that someone had forwarded to me via Messenger. And it wasn't a big deal, but it just sometimes things show up at just the right time. And I didn't intend to do a video for you all today, but it really inspired me to do so. So let me give you a little bit of a backstory. So I typically don't talk a lot about the grief of my divorce and what that means, because I talk about grief a lot of my own grief and losing my son, and my divorce I'm still processing. And so I only want to share and give advice for things that I feel like I've really overcome. And I think I'm still working through the grief of my divorce. And this year, we have a custody agreement, and my ex-husband gets to be with my son basically for all of Christmas. So from 9 a.m. on the 24th through 6 p.m. on the 26th. And that's the legal agreement. And I don't know if I will see him in that time frame. Sometimes my ex will allow that or bring him to me, but I just don't know, right? And it's like, well, if something happens, then legally he can choose not to bring him, or if he finds something else that he wants to do with him, or someplace that they want to go. They're traveling right now, so I may very well not see him until the evening of the 26th. I just don't know. And that makes me sad. It makes me want to stay home. And not sad in a debilitating kind of way, but there is absolutely some depression there, because I don't want to go and share special times with other people, particularly when they have their friends there, or I'm sorry, their kids there, and friends and family, and I'm just not feeling as cheery. And it's the experiences that I want to be able to share with Mason. And if I can't do that, then I feel like, what's the point? I used to spend a lot of time really trying to do what I thought I should do, right? Well, you should go because it's Christmas and you should be with other people. And I would just kind of like suffer through it. And I just don't want to do that this year. And it's not because I don't want to see other people. It's just because I just want some space and some processing time. And it's a good time to process because everything is fresh. And so who knows? I mean, I very well may end up going with family or with some of my friends. I have a lot of friends here who have absolutely invited me to go and spend time with them. And I'm so blessed that I have that. But I do get to decide what I'm going to do. And so someone sent me a video, and that's what I was saying, is some things show up at just the right time. And the video that they sent me was from the country band Gentri, and it was a little drummer boy, and it's a video that's kind of gone viral, and somebody sent it to me via Facebook Messenger. And it's so beautiful because it's really one of those videos that's really touching. I mean, it just touches your heart. And he clearly goes into a cancer ward for childhood cancer, which is so hard to see anyways. But he really, sings a song, and he sings Little Drummer Boy to really lift up all the kids' spirits. And it's very touching. But at the end of the video, they put a message there, and it was such a nice message. And it was that message that I wanted to hear, that I needed to hear. And sometimes there's things that pop up that you hear that it's not like you don't know them, right? You've heard them before, but there's certain times in our lives when they resonate, and they really touch your heart. And that's what happened for me today. And at the end of the video, it said that your talents are God's gift to you. And what you do with them is your gift back to God. And I was just reminded of this, and I thought it was so touching and it was heartfelt. And what I liked about it and what it did for me is it shifted how I was feeling, because I was feeling really sad and depressed. And the thing about being depressed is that it's all about ourselves. It's looking inward and saying, well, I wish I could have this. I wish I could be with my son, and I'm sad that I'm not, and I'm missing his Christmas. And, you know, all of those things are completely justified. And it's okay. I'm not saying it's not okay to be sad and depressed. So that's why I know sometimes people tell me like, oh, you're so happy all the time. And it's like, well, I'm not happy all the time. But I do try to shift things, and I take time to be sad and depressed when I need to be sad and depressed. But then something will happen, like this video, and it'll really, what it did for me was it took the focus off of me, and it took the focus off looking inward and looking out. And in this case, it's looking out to all of you and what's going on with you. And I'm not completely sure what all of my talents are, but I know that one of my talents is to be able to talk for real and to share what's going on with me in an open and vulnerable way. And so I wanted to do that for all of you today, so that you'll know that you're not alone. And all of us have talents. And so I want to encourage you, if you happen to be sad and depressed today, to think about what your talents are and take the focus for a little bit off of looking inward and say, who can I help? And where can I put my talents in a way, not that you're obligated to do so, not like you should go do this, you should go do that. It's like, what can you do with your gifts, with the talents that you have, to really serve others? But we all know that when you serve other people, when you do kind things for other people in a very selfless kind of way, yes, that's a gift for them, but in so many ways it's a gift back to yourself. And so I want to encourage that. And the talents that you have are unique to you. Sometimes we forget how unique we are. We forget that we're that 1 in 100 million sperm that happened to get to the egg right on time. We forget that there isn't anybody else who looks like us, who sounds like us, who has the gifts and the talents and the ways of thinking that we have. We are all unique. And this season we can sometimes get lost in the shuffle because there's so much going on. But for me, the season is about the birth of Jesus. And it's about the fact that he came to earth for us and that we are so special. And it's because we are unique and we are loved. And we have a purpose. We have a purpose why we are here. And we have a job to do. And the other point that I wanted to leave you with was one of the things and one of the concepts that Og Mandino shares in his book, The Greatest Salesman. And he says he knows the secret to life, and that the greatest secret of life is that all of my problems, all of my discouragements, all of my heartaches are really opportunities in disguise. Opportunities. How is your heartache an opportunity in disguise? Doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. But what is the opportunity there? And he says this is the greatest secret of life, because he says, let this fact shape and guide your life every day. Your heartaches, your discouragements, your problems are all opportunities in disguise, and it's hard to see them as an opportunity. And he goes on to say that with every victory, the struggle that we're feeling is a little bit less difficult. So if you're struggling this Christmas, pay attention to the opportunities around you. Look for the message that you need to hear. Take the focus off of yourself and ask yourself, what are my talents? What are my gifts that I can give to the world? Because in giving those gifts, you get those gifts back 100-fold. Enjoy your holiday today. Take time for you. And as always, my name's Catherine McNulty, and I want to help you be grief inspired too. Talk to you soon.